Location and profit is why we buy real estate, but motivation is why the sellers sell. See, when we're talking about lease options or cash purchases, a lot of times we think about what we want. But if we can change our minds and we can really train ourselves to think about what the seller wants, we can think about why someone would sell, and then we can solve those problems. And in solving those problems, we can get what we want. See, right now I'm in the midst of purchasing a property out in Sand Lake, Michigan. It's a fantastic area. The home has been really well taken care of and it hasn't been remodeled. And the seller has been wanting to sell it for nearly retail value without doing a full remodel. And he hasn't been able to sell it. When I called him, I found out the property was purchased free and clear. And in talking to him, I realized that he wanted to avoid taxes. And I was able to solve that problem by offering a owner finance purchase. And we walked through that. And guys, if you wait to the end, I'll kind of share how that played out and what those agreements are and how I'm making nearly $700 in cash flow with zero money out of my own pocket. And payments don't start for 3 months. But here's the thing. Why do people sell? Why do sellers sell to us investors? Here's a couple of reasons. There's a death in the family. There's a divorce. There's a loss of job. There's a property that's sitting vacant. They're worried about selling and getting capital gains tax because they haven't lived there in the last 2 or 5 years. They live quite a ways from the property. Like this guy lives in California, so they can't manage it properly. They've had bad tenants. They've had a bad situation so far. And honestly, there's just a life change that might have happened in the house. Okay, so when we're talking to people, there's really 2 separate types of distress situations that you want to listen for when you're out buying properties. And specifically, if you're looking for creative finance deals, there's a couple different things that you can look for. You can either look for a person's distress, a situational distress in the person's life that is going on that's preventing them from wanting to keep the house. The second type of distress that you can work on is physical distress, is property distress. Now, with seller financing, the best fit isn't always property distress. Back to this story, like I was telling you guys, the guy in Sand Lake, the property was actually in really good condition. I looked at the pictures before we put it under contract, and guys, it looked fantastic on the inside. It was almost rent ready, and we're looking at possibly doing an Airbnb on it. But he had something going on in his life. And that life circumstance, specifically around taxes and it sitting vacant and him being in California, presented an opportunity for him to accept seller financing. He also owned it free and clear, and he wanted to maximize that sale price. That's what he cared about. He also really cared about someone taking care of the asset and coming in there and freshening it up and cleaning it up. And that's exactly what we talked to him about doing, is freshening up the property, cleaning up, and solving this issue of being far away of management and of repairs. And that's how we came across. But as you're looking at them, cash deals fall into property distress. Situational can fall into cash or owner financing. And in a market, being able to have the right tools in the tool belt to pull it out of your bat belt and solve the problem, this is what's going to give you an edge in the marketplace. Being able to isolate, okay, what are the motivations? What are the reasons that they're solving? And always remember, we buy because of profit and location, and they sell because of motivation. And you guys want to keep that in mind. What is the motivation? Go back, write those down, and then as you solve those problems, it will give you the opportunity to buy deals in areas you want, at prices you want, with the terms that you want. Now, guys, when I bought this property, I asked him, I said, hey, what was your tenant last renting it for? He said $2,000 a month. I said, okay, well, with taxes, insurance, management, all of that, would you accept an $800 a month principal and interest payment instead of me going out and getting a bank loan at Wells Fargo or a private money lender? Instead, I'll send you the money as the bank. He said, no, I won't take $800, but I would take $1,100. And we agreed at $1,100 per month. with a potential rent in the area of $2,000. I told him it would take 3 months for me to fix up the property, and so I'd like to start payments in 3 months. This allows me 3 months without payments. I start at $1,100 per month, and I turn around and on a rent, or if I do a lease option to a tenant buyer, I can potentially, guys, get $500 to $900 a month in cash flow, all because I listened to the seller. Guys, my name is Ronald Walker. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button, like the channel, and go to ronaldwalker.com and check out the Inner Forge with some free resources and free courses on how you can make $17,000 in the next 30 days. Until next time, guys, peace.